So I wasn't able to make it to work today. I just was too upset. And I found an excuse suitable enough to not go in, beyond this reason. So today I'm struggling or wrestling with this concept of a disenfranchised death, which refers to deaths that are looked on as maybe shameful, like suicides, and overdose fits into that category. If I was telling someone that my son died during the hurricane rescuing people, or anything else but this, not drunk driving, that would be sort of a disenfranchised death. You don't get points. You don't get sympathy points with people. And there's I think, inference that the person who did this had a lot of choice and a lot of choices along the way. They took a lot of left forks. They had characterological flaws. They maybe didn't have morals. And some or all of that, or none of it, could be true, depending on who you're talking about. There are so many cases now of ODs that there's a pretty broad spectrum of scenarios. Scenarios that range from the infuriating, junkie who's just shitting over everybody and destroying every possible friendship or support, family, etc., to the person that you just had no idea, zero idea. And I'm somewhere in between those, because I know of Forrest's history, and I also knew of what I consider to be his present history. And so it wasn't that I was completely uninformed, or that this wasn't somehow a fear in the back of my mind. It was. As soon as I got the call from the homicide detective telling me my son was deceased, and then I asked how, because at first I thought a car accident, a murder. And then he said, what it was. A giant light bulb went off. And when my son was visiting here, right before this happened, I've been going over the events with my wife. Like, one night he went out with his friends, and we were like, well, let's make sure he comes back and check on him when he does. And we did. And he came back early, and he was happy. We went out running. Every day we talked about, like, well, what workout are we going to do today? And he was here to do a jazz seminar as well as visit family. And so that happened for a few days, for 4 days. And we got up and had breakfast every day, and we ran at night. He did yoga with my daughter. He kept talking about how great he felt, how sore his muscles were. So that's really difficult to penetrate unless we found him, passed out on the floor, or lethargic, or angry, or irritable, or looking weird, or doing something wrong, losing his wallet, losing his keys, being lost somewhere. None of that. I paid for his tuition during the time he was here, and he told me what it was, and I pushed the button on my computer, and secretly in my heart, I was like, hell yeah, like, this is good. This is sweetness. This is so good. So disenfranchised death, that's what parents and peers and, siblings are going to encounter when we have to talk about this beautiful guy. It's going to have that context. We watched a TED Talk about how addicts really primarily need connection, love songs, not hate songs. And my wife Jenny and I were like, yeah, we get that. But Forrest had all our love and support. He wasn't burning us out in any way. He was making us proud.